Hi, library professionals. Steve Albrecht here, author of The Safe Library, with your library service, safety, and security tip of the week. Let's talk about two things. One, in the service world, we would call moments of truth, and the other we would call the customer value model. Moments of truth, and this concept comes from my father, Carl Albrecht. That's Carl with a K, and my dad's at carlalbrecht.com. Comes from his book that he wrote back in 1985 called Service America. Moments of truth are anytime somebody comes in contact with your library facility in any way, over the counter, face-to-face, over the phone, walking in the parking lot as they enter the building. They make a value judgment and they give you and the organization a little score on the report card that we all keep inside our heads about the level of service that we get. The moments of truth are those interactions, whether it's online or over the phone or over the counter or in the stacks, walking to and from the library, you come across somebody that has a question where that person makes a value judgment on the level of service they receive. These are moments of truth that are happening trillions of times every day around the world, and you have experienced millions of them yourself as someone who receives services from banks and restaurants and places that you go and do business with. So think about how important these moments of truth are, these critical encounters with our patrons, and that there's a measurement that kind of goes on inside their head as the level of service they receive. Not every encounter is always perfect, but our sense, especially as a library professional, is how do we make those moments of truth important, and we manage them and we make them part of our training process and our discussion process and staff meetings, so that every time somebody comes in the library, first time they've ever been there, 25th time, 300th time they've been there, it's an important interaction with them, and we recognize this value of the moment of truth. When we come in contact, when they come in contact with us, it is a service moment of truth. The second concept is something called the customer value model. The customer value model is a list of wants and desires that the customer has when he or she comes into the building. It's a restaurant, it's a bank, it's a store, it's going to a government office. They have a list of expectations in their head that are important. Am I greeted? Am I told the right information? Am I given valuable information? Are you helping me solve my problem? Is the place clean? Is it safe? Is there a service orientation there? Is this a place I can bring my family, bring my kids? Do they problem solve on my behalf? A good exercise for a staff meeting is to do a customer value model and say, what do we think a patron wants coming into the library? What are the 5 or 6 critical issues that this person wants when they walk in the door? Could be different for everybody: student, elderly person, young person with kids that comes in as a young parent. Somebody that comes in to do research or study is different than somebody who's coming in just to make some copies, things like that. But think about this customer value model as a typical library patron. What are the 5 or 6 or 7 things that are really, really important to them? Make a list and focus our efforts in service on that. For more information about the work that I do, you can go to thesafelibrary.com. You can also go to Library 2.0 for Steve Hargadon's Library 2.0. Library20.com has a list of my programs as well. Until next time, thanks. See you later.